All right, we're in the DIY thing is over for the working foreman. I am now moving towards whatever's next. And I've had some great suggestions. And one is like do segments of how to build, do complete car things, um, teaching, do some videos for kids and teaching and things like that. But if you're going to teach, you always got to have questions, right? You're supposed to nod. Blackbeard is behind. No, not the camera. Oh my gosh. So if you're dizzy out there, Blackbeard is new at this. So we're going to ask Blackbeard a question. There's a question for a pirate question. That was good. He was nodding his head and the camera wasn't doing too bad. Okay, so what is the favorite letter of a pirate?
R. R. It's got to be R.
What kind of pirate are you? I thought you were like
Matey?
on the sea.
I know.
All right, it's R. So that's
R.
official. It's official. R is the
R.
official letter of a pirate. So we got Blackbeard, our local pirate, now video guy today.
Yep.
Teaching, training, doing. So it's time to change the culture. Not just in spirit, but in this country. How we got to where we're at, I don't know.
Yeah.
See this fancy chrome? It is an issue when you can't get chrome, and not just us. I'm talking about in our industry. It's bad. I wish I had. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is rant a little bit, and then we're going to work on Rips Tea. Here's some of Rips Tea's parts. So we'll put the differential and stuff together. So if you keep watching the video, I'll keep it focused on this one today. But before that, I'm just going to give an overview of where we're at. My son years ago, probably 25 years ago, wrote an essay to get a scholarship from SEMA. And I wish I had it, that he kept it. But his theme was, and now he's in the corporate world, running things like the corporate world does. He's at a level where there's lots of people report to him and they report, so it goes down. The gist of his essay was for the hot rod industry. It was a lot of mom and pop shops. And if you remember back in the day, that's how we started too. I had a little ad about yay big in the back of Rod and Custom. And we all built our own little things, and you could get maybe a brake parts or something from this company or that company. Well, the gist of his essay was the mom and pops are going to go away and consolidate into bigger companies. And we are going to basically be outsourcing the product to China or Mexico and everywhere else. Now, he put that down there before it happened, and it happened. So now the only way we can get these parts, luckily, we use 3741 Ford spindles. That became the standard. When you're out trying to junk around and find some spindles, and the main reason for this is because there's brake parts made for it. There's a bearing adapter that you can put on this, and you can put modern rotors on it, and calipers. These are calipers, modern. They're like a Camaro GM caliper that can go on it. So we've kind of standardized, and the market is big enough to produce these. Company like Super Bell, Pete and Jake's, they're American made, they produce them, but you can get them from China too. But at least they're available. And talking to Jerry at Pete and Jake's, we're having issues with chrome. They can't get chrome. And the problem is we can get the same quality chrome overseas for a third the price. So we're not having a lot of options. On the steering box, this gets a steering box on this. We use a Vega box. Back in the day, we could find Vega boxes used. We'd buy them 25 bucks a piece, all we could get. Then went up to 35, 40, 50 bucks, all we could get, 75 bucks. And then when they got to about 100 bucks, you couldn't find any more. And the ones you found were junk. And Saginaw was the ones that produced them. You could get them from them, but they were like a $400 or $500 box. Well, luckily, that's what everybody started using. We use a lot of them, and now Vega boxes are built overseas. And you can get a Vega box, I don't know what the price would be, but a little over 100 bucks probably. this is where our industry is and where it's going. Now we got a culture problem where we don't have skilled labor out there anymore. It's a real issue. And the way education is, and now I can say I'm not an intellectual. I've always been a hands-on guy, but I am a teacher. Our professional educators wouldn't recognize that. I don't have papers and letters behind my name to say that I'm a professional teacher. But I've been teaching from the point of before I had kids, I was working with youth groups. When I had kids, I was training my own kids. I have 7 grandchildren and 6 of them are homeschooled, and even the one that's not. I'm teaching my grandkids how to live and do. I'm not just a journeyman. I've mastered a couple of these crafts. Part of being a master is training the next generation, working with an apprentice. We have Blackbeard behind the camera here.
That's right.
He's learning how to do the camera. I asked him if he knew how to do that tech stuff, and he said no. But he'll learn. I told him I don't want somebody that knows less than me. I want to surround myself with people that know more than me.
Because we are what we put ourselves around.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, who you associate with. So, and I'm not just bashing teachers in education, because we have got some awesome teachers that will be teaching somebody something somewhere, whether they're paid or not. We have a lot of professional employees in the school system that are there for a paycheck and a pension, and putting the minimum effort in and dumbing things down just to make it easier so they don't look bad. And that's the reality of it. If you don't like that, I don't care. Watch a different channel, but that's my approach.
I agree.
So being a non-educator, non-intellectual, having a problem to solve, what I did, I started writing some curriculum. Can you get a close-up of that? It's the Hot Rod, what is it? The High School Hot Rod Program by Spirit Cars. High School Hot Rod Program. So here's, and this book only here is like a 1-year overview of the course, but let me read you curriculum and structure. Curriculum and structure. Number 1, curriculum outline. The curriculum spans 4 quarters, starting with basic automotive concepts, progressing through the mechanical and electrical phases, and culminating in the assembly and testing of a functional vehicle. Students will complete the project in teams, reflecting real-world environments. Number 2, teaching methods. Practical workshops where students directly work on assembling the Spirit Cars kit. And we have sold several cars, and we have a couple pilot schools already, one in Colorado, one in Kentucky that has our car, and we're working with them on curriculum. And we got a couple other things going. We're going to build a car in August of next year at the Frog Follies with students from tech schools. I mean, that is the goal, and we intend to accomplish it. Number 3, teaching structure, led by a single instructor. This is a critical component right now that the professionals don't want to accept. Opportunities to incorporate industry professionals from local automotive companies and former students now in relevant careers. What I have found, I had a director of CTE, which is the kind of like I would call it the industrial arts program of the modern school. When I tried to present this program, to do it for free even, in a school, well, where would we find instructors? How about, and I didn't even go there because I wouldn't want to include her in the conversation anyway, because if I knew where it would go, I was talking to somebody else, a community leader, someone that works in this community and works with with students to help do that. Volunteer, not about the pay. It's about, taking the culture to the next thing. How about some of these mechanics that have been on the line for 20, 25 years, on their feet, in the heat, doing the thing, know how to do it? Why can't we use them to instruct students? How about old body man? Bring them in. I mean, they know better how to do it than a teacher that maybe watched a YouTube video or reads this curriculum. Although this curriculum is designed to be easy to use.
Lead by example, though. Yeah.
Lead by example. Well, and experience.
That's right. Experience too.
So that's so this is just the overview of what a year would be. And jamming a year, I mean, let's build a car from nothing and teach a junior or senior in high school that. We can do that in a year, right? No problem. And then when they're done, they'll just be an expert. They can go be the next Elon Musk and start a new Tesla. Maybe not, but we got to start somewhere. So this here, it gets a little more specific. This would be the first semester. This would be the second semester. So I have been putting some thought into and effort into, we need to do something to change the attitude of our culture. There's nothing shameful about using your hands. If I see anything shameful, and I've said this one before and I'm going to say it again, there's a difference between bullying and shaming. If you do poor quality work, shame on you. It's not acceptable. If I just yell and scream and holler at somebody that doesn't know how to do it and haven't trained them properly because I think I'm the boss and I'm better than you are, well, that might lead into bullying. But my job is to equip and teach and train. And everybody's not the same. Different people have different skills, different abilities, which is great because there's a lot of different things. We build this car, paint is one thing. Wiring is another thing. Assembly is another thing. Motor, I mean, there's just welding, there's just fiberglass. There's just a lot of different things that can be done, and one person doesn't necessarily know all of that stuff. So I'll just give you a real quick, so day one, fundamentals of project, and so this kind of breaks it down into day-to-day. Introduction to automotive technology, okay. Here, so course introduction and overview. So here's day one, introduction to the course. I'm just gonna go to what are the objectives after the first day. Expected outcomes. This is after the first day. So it gives the teacher an outline. It gives even down to the, we break it down into the minutes kind of thing. If you do this in this time frame and you do this in this time frame. Expected outcomes. By the end of the day, you'll have a clear understanding of the course structure, objectives, and evaluation criteria. You'll feel more comfortable engaged through our icebreaker and team building activities, helping to create a collaborative learning experience. Every student has a gift from God created in them. They're not all the same. We put kids, especially the kids that might take this type of a course. It's generally in an alternative situation. Oh, that's the alternative school. It's those kids. And what it is, we live in a new world. If you can't engage somebody in the first 15 seconds, you've lost them. We've got teachers that, oh, this is the way we do it. We're professional. You got to do it, and you learn our way. If you can't learn my way, there's something wrong with you. You're stupid. How about teachers aren't smart enough to engage these kids and teach them where they're at? Because we all learn different. Sometimes by visual, sometimes by words, some are more mathematical, it's all different. Okay, so collaborative learning environment. That means you got a team with different personalities on it, but the goal is the same. We're gonna build a car, and it's gonna be accomplished by the end of the year. You'll leave it with an initial excitement and curiosity about the final hot rod project, motivating you for the upcoming sessions. And that's it, engage. I mean, if you're not into hot rods, that's fine. You'd be into something else. Maybe you're into aviation, maybe you're into sport fishing, maybe even if you're into gaming. I mean, there's something about that. All kids want to do is play games. No, all kids want to do is be engaged and feel like they have value. It's not that complicated. Oh, it's a new world. Well, no, we're stuck in the old ways. Things are changing, but there's nothing new under the sun. It's all the same. It's just different ways to engage and do. So here we go. I'm excited to start this journey with you all. Let's make this course a great learning experience. How's that? I'm excited to start this journey with you all. How's that work? Is that proper English?
Sounds good to me.
So here's day one of what the teacher would do, and it goes through it. You go into, okay, day 6 on week 13, suspension, geometry, and alignment. I mean, there's a lot to that. I mean, there's a lot to that. And again, people learn different ways. If I'm going to tell you about the Ackerman angle, do you know what that is?
I don't.
No?
No. The Ackerman
If
angle.
I'm going down the road straight, these are my wheels. And if I turn and my wheels both go the same, what's going to happen?
You're gonna turn.
Yeah, but my inside wheel's going to scrub.
Oh, if they turn
Well,
the
they both
same.
kind of scrub.
Yeah, one's
Because
got
when I turn
actually-
left, my inside wheel has to turn more than my outside wheel.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But when I turn right, it's the opposite. So my right wheel has to turn more than my other one.
Yeah.
A guy named Ackerman figured that out. So we call it the Ackerman angle.
Gotcha.
Now I could explain that to you in pure math, geometry. Or I could take a picture and show you.
Right.
Or
Seeing
I
is-
could, with words, describe it. Basically, if you take and look at the steering arms, I don't have a steering arm here, but so you got your spindle here, and the spindle's going to have a steering arm. That's why we don't use, we call it suicide, a drag link, where it comes to the front. The angle's wrong, and I was going to scrub a little bit. But anyway, so as this goes back, you're the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the front of the car. This is your steering, your spindle here. Now the steering arm is going to face at an angle. Can you get that kind of?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I've got two of them. So we're going to have two angles like that. And that angle better come to a point. You're the differential at the differential when it comes together. Maybe you can understand that. Maybe I could do a technical drawing. But anyway, day 6, suspension geometry and alignment. There's a whole lot more to it than that. But you got caster, you got toe, you got, there's a lot to it. But it's a start. And the start is, we need to put some pressure on public education and say we expect better. It's expensive. We spend a lot of money on public education, a lot of money. We've got colleges, here's the shame. We've got colleges, we got a Harvard with endowments, or not endowments, but I call it a war chest. What do you, when you give a college a bunch of money, like $52 billion, I think they have in a trust. They bring kids in, they give them loans. The government guarantees the loans. The government, I'm guaranteeing the loan, and they're giving them no value. A piece of paper, they go out there and no value that they can go out and earn a living to pay back that loan. Well, if they want to give out the loans, how about they guarantee the loan? How about we start there? How about we got all these liberal arts? Okay, you want to learn that, and I am not against education. I'll watch YouTube all night. I can watch MIT free. I don't get a piece of paper when I'm done, but I can watch calculus if I want for hours. And then,
what I do.
actually I have. Why, I don't know, but you can learn anything you want. Go on a podcast and learn from really smart people. So
Yep.
we have definitely gone past time for a build. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm probably at 10 or 12 minutes or
18, 20.
18 minutes.
18 minutes.
If you've made it this far into this video, I'm not going to cut it out. I'm not going to edit it. I may take a little snippet of it here and there just to start on my build. But there's my just part. Some of them. I got a bunch more back there, over there. So this is Rip's Tea coming together. We're going to look for a tripod now and maybe set it up over there and do some. It's time to start building cars. It's time to start doing turnkeys. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have you clean up Daniel's chassis.
Okay.
It's been sitting for a while, and Ed's telling me it's going to be painted this weekend, and we're going to put his body back on. So
Okay. Sounds good.
that'll be it for today's video. Although we may do some more, but I'm just going to upload this one like it is.